Welcome to the team. So what we're going to do today is help you get set up so you can be truly successful with your business. So step number one, boys, pull your phone out, and you watching, pull your phone out, and we're going to put the phone number for the company for partner support in your phone. The phone number is 1-855, an easy way to remember is go ARIIX, but that spells out to be 1-855-462-7449. And if you are a successful business person, you'll be using that phone number a lot, calling in, checking in, putting orders in, different things. So I wanted to make sure that you have that handy. So, okay, gentlemen, what's the next step after we have the phone number? What do we need to do once we've gotten started? We've got our products ordered. What's next?
Well, I think making sure that you're qualified, right? You want to make sure that you've got your, we'll call it auto delivery, smart ship, whatever you want to call it, but you want to make sure that you've got at least 100 volume points, which translates to $150 in product orders. So that can be you or a customer. Now, most people like to get their product set up for themselves, but I also recommend that you look for some other customers too as you build your business. So once that's done, the only thing that I would recommend though is making sure that that gets done right away, because we operate on what's called colored weeks. So when you started your business, you're on a week. It's either blue, red, green, or purple. And so make sure that you can find that, and you'll find that in your X office, which we're going to explain how to get there. But when you start, if you're on a red week, that 100 volume points or that $150 order must be on that red week to make sure that your business is commission eligible.
Yeah, and Aaron, I'll just add in that there's several packs that are put together, auto delivery packs, the energy auto delivery pack, the weight loss one, and they're all reduced price. It's a real discount on the products to get it that way.
It really is a no-brainer to pick one of those to get started. You can change it, Todd, down the road, but those are a simple way to go and a lot of value.
Yeah, interchangeable all the way till midnight. It's going to be billed every fourth Friday. You just look at the Friday that you joined up and got your auto delivery set up. Every fourth Friday it will bill, and you've got until midnight that night to change it to whatever you want to, as long as it remains at the 100 volume point level.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Okay, so we're all set up ourselves, but we've got to get into that back office and do some things. So what does it take to start setting that up?
Well, probably the first thing you want to do is get your X office set up. You're going to go to xoffice.rx.com. Make sure you've got your login information, set up your password. It's really good when you get in there just to just kind of navigate around and just play with it a little bit. You'll learn a lot. There's a lot of valuable information in there. Actually, where you place your orders, you'll be able to track things, you'll be able to track your orders, things that are going on in your business, but besides the library, and there's just an amazing amount of information available to you there.
So you should have received an email from ARIIX, and if you can't find it, look in your spam, and that will have your ID number. You'll end up memorizing that number, but that's the number that you use when you log in and then you create your password.
And you might want to say that the very first time you get there, you'll just click down there at the bottom where it says set up. It's obvious that you haven't logged in the first time. Pretty simple to do. You'll be able to set up, once you put your rep ID number in, it'll ask you to set a password. Just a real simple process.
And Chris, once you get into your X office, that's where you go and shop. Your discount will already be built into your back office there to buy products with. You'll see places to enroll. The person that brought you in will help you with that process. It's a few things you got to know in the first couple of enrollments of another transformation pack. A dashboard that's going to track all of the growth of your business, and we'll get more in depth with you in a different video, but that's a good start. Just play around in there, have fun in there. You can't mess it up.
Yeah, Todd, this is your business, right? And so it's set up for you. It's right there at your fingertips.
So Aaron, if someone wants to make sure they get paid, what do they need to make sure they set up in their back office?
So the first thing that I do when I'm in there is you're going to want to make sure that you go to direct deposit. You want to set up it's under ARIIX Pay. And then you can actually put in your banking information. Now, keep in mind, they're not going to take any money out of that. That's where they pay you. So you want to make sure that you're going to get paid. And one little note is they allow you to split it up into different accounts, but make sure that that total is 100%. So there's little percents over there. You can put 100% in your savings, checking, whatever that is. But if you split it up, make sure that it totals 100%.
Yeah, and Aaron, going back to Dr. Ginger, you gave them Rep Services number in the beginning. If any of this we're sharing with you, get in there and you kind of get lost, feel free to call Rep Services. They'll walk you right through it, tell you exactly where everything is.
One of the best things about ARIIX is our rep support department. They're really amazing. They're also so helpful. You will find that we have really one of the best departments you'll ever see. These people are amazing.
Hands down, absolutely.
Absolutely.
And award-winning.
Absolutely.
Okay, so what else is back there in the X office that we need to make sure that we're looking at?
I like the training. We've got one of the best training systems, I believe, in the industry. It's called the BOSS system, BOS. And there's little video vignettes that they walk you through so you get a foundational feel for what this company is all about. But also one of my favorite things, Todd, is you get access to Tim's sales and his expertise. I mean, he's been a trainer for years in this industry, but he is an advocate of the industry. I mean, you've watched some of his videos. How important is that for somebody to have that foundational education?
Yeah, you'll find him all over the place out there. As a matter of fact, when I first went full-time in network marketing, he had done an interview with Dr. Charles King. He was featured on several big TV stations with Larry King, talking about why the network marketing industry was the best industry for the average person to get started in and really change their life. He's a part of our company, and he's a part of creating some of these new training videos for you in what we call the business orientation system. Again, just go into your X office, just like we're talking about. Go into, just play around at the top, you'll kind of find it, but it's called BOS, Business Orientation System.
So Chris, a lot of people feel like they're scared to go back in their X office because they might mess something up. They can't break anything back there, can they?
No, let me assure you, if you could break it, I could, because I'm not a techie person, but you're not going to mess anything up. Just go in and click on things. I mean, you may get lost a few times, but the more you play around in it, you're going to find that there's so much good information. There's a library, there's printable materials. There's just a lot of things there that you can learn about the company. You know what? They're going to also give you some reward dollars and some pay if you'll watch these videos. ARIIX is actually going to pay you to watch these videos.
Pay us?
Yeah, real dollars. Aaron, you talked about setting up your auto ship. Once that auto ship is set up, you actually move into our perk system. It's separate than our pay. We're paid 8 ways. Maybe you're going to be watching some of the pay plan videos, but we also have a perk system that when your auto delivery is live, every dollar that you ever spend in the company, to include shipping and tax, doubled the first 28 days you're a part of our company, goes into your reward bank. And that reward bank is going to be redeemable for discounted products in our loyalty shopping. Ginger, I know that they're on your neck. Discounted diamonds up to 50% off. You can use those dollars to buy down one of the best diamond providers in the world. And in another video, you'll see about our travel, which by hands down, my absolute favorite thing, Chris.
Without question, the travel site, if you choose to select it, there's an additional charge for it, but you will save so much money in the travel that I wasn't even excited when they first announced it. And now it may be one of my most favorite parts of the entire company's perks. Now, we don't make that perks. It's not the way you make money, but I can tell you this. I say you don't make money. They really give you some reward dollars too, but it's a certain way in the beginning just to save money.
Yeah. So the discounts are up to 30, 40, 50. I've seen discounts as high as 70% off, but now going back to your exact question, Dr. Ginger, when you go watch those BOS videos, you also can get real dollars that take your travel or product purchases all the way to zero. And the company actually gives you a $20 bill in your what we call e-wallet that you can, after the discount is done, take it even lower or use that to buy products down. It's really a cool thing in it, Aaron.
Well, what's nice is there's so many perks and benefits, and here's the thing. Don't get lost in all of that, right? So it's easy to get down those rabbit trails. Just know that they're available, and as you're here building your business, you're going to discover more things that you didn't even know existed, like discounted medical. I mean, we've got access to all kinds of things. So when you got started on your transformation, you probably didn't realize all of the different perks and benefits that you'd have access to.
It's like Christmas every day.
It really is.
So for those product people out there, I want to point out, we have a PDF of every product in the library in your X office. So in case people are asking about ingredients or different things, that's always a go-to for those product type people.
As a matter of fact, on those transformation packs that you've actually talked about, those PDFs, if you want to know what's in those products that you're taking, you can print those and read them. It's just right there for you at your fingertips.
Absolutely. Another really easy, cool thing is we have some mobile apps, don't we?
That's probably, as someone not very high tech, they made it for somebody like me. You know, anybody that's using smartphones these days, you can use the ARIIX Connect. I mean, they just give you so much availability when someone asks for information or wants a product thing, you can send it to them and even track it.
Well, Chris, what I like about it is your whole business is in your pocket, right? And it walks you through how to share information. You have access to all these different transformations, Todd, all around the world. So for people that are technology savvy and they want to build through social medias and stuff, it's all right there in just one app.
Yeah. So just go to, whether you're Android or Apple, just go to your app store. The app is called ARIIX Connect. downloads for free, and you're in business. It'll use your same ID and password that you've set up to enter your X office for your app, and they're kind of interchangeable there. You can also order products, sign up reps through your app.
And actually, there's another app called the ARIIX app. You'll want to download that as you build your business. It'll actually keep up with all those reward credits that we were talking about. So those are a couple of apps you have. And guess what? They're free.
Absolutely.
Awesome. We also have some Facebook groups. The company has some groups. The different teams have some groups. So make sure you stay plugged in, because staying plugged in keeps you part of the community, gets you educated. You can find out about different events and things going on. So definitely plug into those.
Todd, what's one Facebook group that I mean, everybody should be plugged into?
Yeah, I think there's several. MOA Challenge is a great one. We all put posts on there of new recipes, of transformations, of upcoming meetings. It's just a great way to get updated news. And what's some others? I know there's more out there.
Well, I know that corporate just has some Facebook groups for like Slenderize and different things.
And ARIIX for North America. There's ARIIX
ARIIX
for
North America is
every
definitely one
region.
that you need to plug into because of all of the different Zooms that corporate's going to do. That keeps you plugged into all of those as well.
So the corporate does some weekly Zooms, actually quite a few of them during the week, in English, in Chinese, in Spanish. So get plugged in to what's happening, because it can really help you grow your business.
Yeah, so that's one more step. There is also on your phone an app called Zoom, Z-O-O-M. You can go ahead and download that for free, because we use that universally throughout the company for live presentations, trainings, broadcasts, and we'll send out through MOA Challenge, or you'll get a text from your group that, hey, on Tuesday night at 8 o'clock, there's going to be an overview coming from the company. Such and such is going to be interviewed. And all you do is click on the link, and if you already have the app downloaded, it'll pull right up. You'll see everybody live. You can even be seen live. You don't have to be make sure you do look at your camera button, and there's an on-off button there. Make sure you're just off if you don't want to be seen. But Chris, we do one every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Eastern. It's 8 in the mountains and 7 on the West Coast. And of course, you can translate that, because we always have people on in different provinces in Canada, Europe, Australia.
Yeah, absolutely. I just try to keep up with my time zone, because we've had people from Germany on, and we've had people so many countries now as our company grows throughout the world. But those are going to be informative, but they'll be posted on that MOA Challenge page each week, and your link will be there, and we'll tell you the topic we're going to have. Some weeks we're going to have Ginger as a guest. We've also had business builders. It's just different topics, and you're welcome to them. They're free to you. They're just to help you learn and as you build your business.
Well, what's nice about this is this really is a business that you can build around your life, right? So you can plug into this stuff wherever you're at. I know we've got teammates, Todd, that are on the beach on vacation, and they're doing business. I mean, you can be anywhere. I've got people that actually, Todd, step out of their office because on a bathroom break just to get a little bit of that Zoom. Now, I don't recommend you do that, but you guys, here's what I'm saying. If you're time restrained, you don't have to get in an airplane. You don't have to drive hours because of this technology.
Yeah.
Technology has really changed the way we build the business. I mean, there's certainly nothing, as much as we could talk about that, if we talk about sharing the business with people, I think that's probably going to be our next topic, but there's nothing as good as being face-to-face. But obviously, plugging into Zooms helps you learn, get you that information. But the one-on-one, is that what we're going to talk about? Kind of how we're going to do that?
How to build a business.
Yeah. So once we're set up and plugged in and we kind of know what's what and what's where, the next step is, how do I start growing my business? So what is the first thing that we need to do?
Well, the very first thing you need to do, Ginger, you've got about an 8-minute video on how to utilize your transformation pack. You went through the Slenderize, the MOA, the energy. You talk about how they work together, when to take it, how to take it. You talked about how to add in the greens and the benefits of that, and then putting the Pure Nourish and Power Boost into the regimen. That was a fantastic video, Ginger. I'm blown away with how good it is. I actually tweaked a couple of things on my regimen just because of everything I heard you say. But that's step one, because as you begin to transform, your belief level and your confidence are going to begin to transform. Everybody starts their journey here the same way. We all want better. We all want to be a little skinnier, sleep a little better, have a little bit more energy, be a bit more vibrant. We all want to have better skin and stay young. And we also, I think, most of us, Aaron, we want better finances too, don't we?
Absolutely. Who doesn't want a financial transformation, right? I mean, let's face it, you guys, you look at the average person, they don't have enough in their savings to get by 30 days. And this is something that can allow you, if you're willing to go share, can allow you to start to generate some significant cash flow, Todd.
Yeah, so even if your business mindset right now is just making enough money to pay for your products, you can get transformed health-wise, that's still a start in the business. And we find that people grow from there. So the first thing I would do, Ginger, is I would write down, I love a red pen and a yellow notebook. I'm old school, but you can do it on your phone, you can do it on your iPad or your computer. But make a potential list of people that you know that might have the same interest as you. And what I mean by that is, who do you know that wants to lose weight? Who do you know that wants more energy? Who do you know that wants to look younger? And who do you know that would like to get out of debt and create better finances for their future? And that's the starting point. Who could be willing to transform alongside of me?
I want to say this. As many of you here, just because you want to change your health, and that's absolutely great. Most of the people that start with us are trying to change their health. I never joined this company for that part, even though I did change my health in a dramatic way, losing 80 pounds and really getting myself in a much better, healthier way. But I really joined this company because of the amazing financial side. So don't leave anybody off your list. That's where a lot of people make their mistakes. Don't you agree, Aaron?
Well, Chris, that's the thing, you guys. Most people would have never approached somebody like a Chris Doyle because he owned a manufacturing facility. He had 400 employees at one time. Like, he's a big-time businessman. Those are the people that you want to go approach because, Chris, let's face it, business people do understand business. So don't eliminate anybody, right?
Yeah, well, I call those people that are on your chicken list. You think that they wouldn't be interested, but in fact, everybody's looking for more time freedom and more finances. And then, of course, don't leave the people off that need to get healthier. Don't get me wrong. I mean, most of my team's probably people that want to get healthier. But, you know, so what is going to go on your list is simply this. I heard a guy say it once, if they can fog a mirror, they're an interested party. So don't leave anybody off. You just don't know who that right person is.
One more example really quick, Todd. I mean, you've got this guy, Richard Tuggle. I mean, he owns 5 businesses. He's busy, right? He's extremely busy. But, and Chris, I know both of you guys have worked with him. An amazing man. And somebody had the fortitude to just say, hey, I've got this transformation products that could benefit your health. What happened there?
Well, the person who actually shared it with him was a veterinarian. So somebody had to have enough guts to show the veterinarian, who then had to have enough guts to call the business owner down in Arkansas.
Well, actually, her husband's the veterinarian, and she's the nurse. But, you know, the fact is, all she did was tell Richard, he actually says she called him fat. I don't know if she was quite that extreme. But Richard told me unequivocally he was not interested in the business. And what's happened? He has really seen the big picture of what the company has to offer. Certainly, Richard has had a huge transformation health-wise and lost, I think he's close to 90 pounds in weight loss, but he's helped a lot of other people as well. But he's really interested in that, now the business part.
So the moral of the story is don't eliminate anyone from your list. Let the video do the work for you.
Can you tell these guys are excited about the business part and helping you? I
guess
can't
we got
get a word in. Okay,
This is our
so
host.
I've made my list. Chris, what's the first and best way to share the transformation video? Not the what's in your transformation pack video, but the transformation video.
Well, I would tell you,
transformed, yeah.
the Be Transformed video, you know, obviously the best way is one-on-one. I mean, I will tell you, if you want to really get your business moving, figure out about 8 or 10 people that you can go see and share the video with. And don't try to be overboard. Just go say, I want you to watch a video with me. I want you to see what I'm doing. And guys, if you give them so much information that they start, you just go share the video. Just sit down with them. And Aaron is really probably the best person in inviting to be Aaron Decker. He's one of the best I've ever seen.
Well, one thing I'll say about that, Todd, is the video, the Be Transformed video, does 90% of the work. I mean, that's why it was created, right? So you just push play.
That's right.
Todd, I mean, so let's just walk them through, if you sit down with somebody, what's kind of like a quick little intro to get them to watch the video, and then what do we do next steps?
Yeah, so I'm going to back you up 1 second, and that is because sometimes the hardest part for all of us is how do I get the person to sit down with me? What are those mechanisms to get that to happen? And I will tell you there's lots of ways. You can post on Facebook. They may reach out to you. You can message somebody directly on Facebook. You can send them a text. You can call them on the phone, which I think is the best. And once the contact is made, once somebody inquires about information, it doesn't matter if they're inquiring about weight loss, nutrition, business, any inquiry is okay because we've got the answer for it all. Then when we actually talk to them this is where we call it the good, better, best scenario. The best case scenario, once that contact is made, whether it's Facebook, text, or via the phone, is if you can get them to give you about 20 minutes of their life. My golden rule is always, I don't want to give anybody decision-making information over the phone until they have physically seen what it is that I'm trying to share with them. So best case scenario, Chris, I've called you up, and I just say, Chris, I want to take about 20 minutes of your life. I can swing by your office tomorrow. We'll meet at Starbucks. We can meet at a local restaurant. I'll buy your lunch, or I can come to your kitchen table. It makes me no difference. And kind of know who you're talking to. I wouldn't give him 5 options. If he owned an office and was still in a manufacturing facility, I'd say, Chris, I'll just swing by your office. If it's a stay-at-home mom, I might go meet her at the kitchen table. It's just, it all depends. But once we sit down, that's where we now get to the push play.
So then, but just push play. Don't pause it. Don't stop it. Just let the video do the work. And then the magic after that, Todd, is what?
Well, I'm gonna say one thing before you push play is you got to share your testimonial.
For sure.
And put your name on it. And you don't have to have a great one yet. I know a lot of times Chris has lost 80 pounds. I'll share Chris's story. I know Ginger has all this knowledge about the product, so when it comes to knowledge, instead of me having to have it all, I just reference Ginger. I said, Ginger has all of this, and I'll point toward videos in that direction. So find your favorite videos in our favorite pictures or transformations in your area. Local is always better, but I use them from everywhere too. And just kind of share your foundational belief, whatever that is. It's going to be different at all stages of your business, but once you kind of share that briefly, then push play. Share the Be Transformed video for 14 minutes. Let it kind of go through the structural understanding of how the products, how the health transformation, how the financial transformation can occur. And then the most important thing is when that video ends, now this is really important, that's where a third-party validation, you've taken somebody with you, kind of share about maybe bringing somebody along to help you or calling them on the phone.
So again, best case is if I've got somebody there, I'm going to just reference them, right? Because if this is my contact, so if Chris is my contact, Chris is looking to me, but then if Todd's sitting there with me, Todd's gonna validate all of that. But then when Todd's done, I'm going to look at Chris and say, Chris, let's do this.
Right. And I think what you also need to understand is that sometimes you're not going to have that person with you, but you just set them up before you go. And any of us out here in the field that are working the business, it's very easy to set up a person for a third-party validation. It's really not that difficult to have someone on standby that you just make a call to and let them talk to someone who's had those transformations.
And who has a little bit more product knowledge or business ability to answer business questions. But here's a reference I want to make to you. You'll never see a dog chasing a parked car. They want to chase the moving car. So I'm going to say it's the same thing in our business. You've got to have a level of excitement. And if it's not your nature to be excited, you almost have to lift yourself up a little bit, because people are not going to see better if you're not delivering better. So you're kind of an answer to a lot of people's prayers, wishes, hopeful thinking. So when you're there, convey that with them. I've got an answer to get XYZ accomplished with you. And man, it's exciting. So that's the best case scenario. Doesn't always work that way. Second best case scenario is we're going to send the video with a time. And by the way, this is especially for long distance. We're going to send the video with a time allotment for them to watch the video and then follow up. Let's walk us through that.
Well, I think that obviously Aaron's one that really told me this, and I've started using this lately, is that the Zoom, you can set up to when they're going to watch it, and you can be right there with them. And as they finish watching it, if you've got a Zoom account, it's really easy. And you can get a Zoom account just for one-on-one, so it's not like it's going to cost you. And then you just set it up so you can talk to them face-to-face, almost as good, not quite as, obviously never as good as being there. And then the third way is, of course, set up a time that they're watching the videos, and you're going to call them. You know that this is the time they're watching. You put it on a stopwatch. You know 14 minutes from now they're going to be finishing, and you watch, and then you call them and say, hey, did you watch the video? Are you don't say, what do you think?
For sure.
For sure. Just say, you see why I'm so excited? I mean, I'm having that transformation.
But then, Chris, what's so important is don't say, hey, I'm going to call my friend Chris. Just call Chris. Call that validation. Just say, hold on a second. I never asked permission. I'm just going to because I've already let Todd know that I'm sharing the video with Chris, and I'm calling back Chris. Chris, did you get a chance to watch a video? And he says, yes. I'm just going to say, hey, hold on a second. Todd already knows expecting a call. Hey, Todd. Yeah, hold on a second. Chris, I've got my friend Todd on the line. And Todd knows a lot about this industry and the opportunity or the products. And I'd just like him to share a little bit about what his knowledge is. And if you got a question or two, right, I want to tee that up so it takes the pressure off of me.
I want to add to that a little bit, because you think that because you're brand new, that's the reason. I can assure you it has nothing to do with it. I had Todd do a validation call for me last night, and Aaron's certainly high titled than me, but he calls me for a validation, or he uses Todd. We all do that because it's a part of what we do, and it helps that person realize it's not just them. It's a group of people that are working together.
Well, Todd, the process is actually training the process, right?
Got it.
And then, of course, third best.
You know, this is the one that a lot of people, to include me, I'm human, we're all human, you can use as a crutch, but you can't really get a time allotment. You don't know how to call and ask for it in person. So now you've got this person you think could be awesome, and there's no other avenue left but just to directly send them the video and see if it's like kind of like throwing a piece of bait somewhere in the water and see if there's a fish out there somewhere maybe. But you can. I always say it's better than not doing anything. You know, Chris, we've said this. All of us have said this for years. It's amazing to us how very, very talented people in network marketing can sometimes have no success, and sometimes people who enter our company with very limited talent. Their job description, their background just doesn't give them good public speaking skills. They don't have a ton of confidence initially, but yet they're very successful. And the only thing that separates the two, I always tell it, in network marketing, talent is really overweighted. It's doing the process every day. It's the person that's going to share this video, follow up, do it in the good, better, best scenario, and get it out there with people. Those are the ones that make money here, because somebody without talent can show it happened. Your nephew, I'm not saying he didn't have talent, but you're the only rep I know of that he ever signed up. And there's like 90,000 people that went into his business.
And I didn't really want to be there, and it wasn't something I really wanted to do. But you know, we can reference so many people in our industry. I know that Aaron can talk about people that have had that success. So guys, sharing the information, numbers. I mean, I've heard it said over and over, that's probably Todd's, if you do enough numbers over a period of time with
Numbers
consistency,
take care of everything.
Numbers will take care of everything.
So just to kind of recap, first, what the best way is to sit down with somebody, have somebody with you, or somebody teed up for a validation call. Second best is to use technology or a set time, right? And then an immediate follow-up. But you know what? Don't forget that last way. That last way sometimes. Just don't focus on the last way. That's just kind of a casting it out. You can't get them to answer your phone. At least exposes them to the information, because you never know what might happen.
That's right. The one thing I wouldn't do, though, is put it out there like in a public platform, like a Facebook post or something like that. I don't think that's a very effective way.
Let me add one more thing to the Facebook post. Don't post your products on the Facebook. I mean, post your results. If I can tell you one thing I've learned and watched people that have become very successful, you mentioned Richard Tuggle, all Richard Tuggle and Richard Hawkins, I can name several of them, they basically are posting what their results were. Yeah. And then they message them. They never post the information on the Facebook. They do private messaging afterwards.
Maybe probably the number one question our audience may have is how to effectively attract people through Facebook. And you've just said it's not posting Transformation Pack. It's not posting one of our products. It's just posting yours and others' transformation stories generically. And I'll tell you the ones I see. I'm not Mr. Facebook myself, but I closely monitor people that are really successful. The ones that are really successful do it relentlessly. They just constantly are putting a new transformation out, their own transformation, another 3 pounds, a different view of how their body now looks. Maybe from a financial standpoint, they're putting some lifestyle videos out. They've gotten to go on vacation and take their family, and ARIIX paid for it. It could be a number of different things there that you could put out there. I wouldn't say ARIIX, but their new business found for it.
So creating a curiosity post is basically what we're talking about.
Absolutely.
And even if you do want to talk about products, don't talk about the name of the product or the company. Maybe I found this amazing way to get clean, safe energy. I feel amazing. It's not giving me highs and lows. Kind of curiosity type posts.
Love it.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Okay, so can we move on?
Sure.
All right.
Absolutely.
You guys are going.
We got too excited.
Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is the in-person consistency. I know we were chatting off stage about this, and how important is that, Chris?
Well, I mean, obviously plugging in is what you're talking about. I mean, you know, there's no way I've never seen this business build without a consistent meeting, consistent trainings in an area. I mean, we could talk about it and certainly there's going to be always exceptions to the rule. Never think there's going to be something that doesn't quite. But let's face it, the areas that are growing the fastest have consistent trainings. And you know who I learned that from? Todd. Todd was the man that taught me that if I was going to have an area work and get an area going, we had to, you know, and sometimes you think that's for guests. I think it is for guests. We want guests there. But those meetings that you do consistently and those trainings that we plug into, there is just as much for the people that are in the business to plug in and share ideas.
Yeah, so one of the magical things about network marketing is everybody doesn't have to work hard at this, but somebody does. And I don't know if you're that somebody or not, but I know Dr. Ginger and Aaron are. They were that somebody in Michigan, and they started a weekly meeting in a set spot a number of years back, and they ran it every Tuesday now for a number of years, and they've become number 3 in North America for doing that. They don't say things differently. They just have an infrastructure. So you may not be that person, but if you're not the person that wants to work hard at this, you're waiting for that person in your area, because here's the secret of the infrastructure. When there is a weekly meeting, all the people that don't want to work hard, if it's running 4 Tuesdays a month, they get to show up at 1 or 2 Tuesdays that fit their schedule. When they walk into that meeting, here's the magic, Aaron. They see 2 or 3 new testimonials that's occurred. They see somebody whose paycheck has risen. They look at somebody and like, oh, wow, you look a lot different. They may not say it out loud, but they think, oh, wow, you look different than I saw you a few weeks. So every time that person that's not that engaged walks in and gets into the environment, sees the presentation over again, hears the questions answered, their belief and their conscious energy are all going to rise, which kind of creates the momentum.
Just 2 quick points. Here's the thing. You don't have to know anything. We just push play. Like Ginger and I, it doesn't matter what title or what we aren't. We just push play. We watch transform video, but we do get a couple people up there live doing their transformations. One other thing that starts to happen, you're going to have somebody walk in there and their doctor, their lawyer, their next door neighbor is going to be sitting there because somebody else invited them to that presentation. That then is going to create that little momentum in that area, because people are then kind of that fear of, oh my gosh, I got to share this more kicks in.
Yeah. So that's the kind of the weekly infrastructure around that. What I've always said, you don't want to spend your week inviting people to the meeting. Spend your week sharing the video in person. And we've talked about doing it in person, so let's take that a little step further. A 2-on-1 would be, I'm brand new, Aaron and Ginger are my sponsors, and I call somebody and ask them, would they give me 20 minutes and take a look at something that I think could really benefit us all? And they agree. We set it up for next Monday at 2 o'clock at Starbucks and over in their area. Aaron and Ginger are on standby. I let them know. They drive to Starbucks. They meet me. We push play together. But what Dr. and Ginger are, they're my belief and my knowledge, because I don't have any yet. So that's called a 2-on-1. And then my other favorite place, because you can do multiple people at a time, it's always a great environment, is small living room meetings. I just think when you get living room meetings going, you can push play, but in those living rooms, what I would also do is bring in your transformation pack products. We love doing this in living rooms. So the person who does the living room meeting will kind of share their experience, and sometimes that's 3 days worth of experience, but it's their guest and their experience. We'll push play, and then whoever's there with the most knowledge will kind of stand up and just kind of walk them maybe a step further through the MOA, the weight loss or whatever. Now we got Dr. Ginger's new video. Could even play that video afterwards if nobody knows anything about how the products exactly work. But you get that little comfortable environment in a living room going, and then that feeds that bigger weekly meeting.
Let me add something about that video, because I want you to realize how important and how much time was put into this video. There's no one in this company that knows more about our products than Ginger. But I can assure you now, because of getting people to know and be more comfortable, Ginger is pushing play. Even though she's still going to answer questions at the end, she pushes play. And let's face it, if she's in the room, I want her talking. But the truth is, the video makes people understand I can do it. Todd pushes play, Aaron's pushing play, and I can assure you I'm pushing play.
So I'm plugged into Facebook groups. I'm kind of doing that. I'm now plugged into some kind of weekly event in my local area. What else can I do to make sure that, I've got all the knowledge, everything that I need to really take my business to where I've set it out to go?
Yeah, we're still in North America a fairly young company, and you're not going to find a monthly training necessarily in your geographic region. So what I would do is just kind of watch out for a training event that's occurring somewhere. Aaron and Ginger just did one. They've got another one planned. Chris has done several throughout the last couple of months in Arkansas. We're going to do one down in Florida. And you'll see others in Canada and on the West Coast popping up. Just kind of pay attention when you're in these Facebook groups. That's where they're post at. And anytime you can go to like a regional training, it's going to once again up your belief. It's going to up your knowledge. You're going to hear more testimonials. You're going to build new relationships. Somebody's going to share something that for you and your personality makes all the difference in your success. And then the last piece of the equation is what I like to call the big events. The national convention, leadership trips out to Utah, different things like that. That's where it just puts people over the top. For me, I know it did us.
Well, Todd, I'll tell you what, I've watched over just the last year, the people that they started, and in some cases, they started with some products and they started their own transformation, and then they kind of figured out that there's a business to this, and they maybe went to a local event. But then, Todd, the magic was this, and kind of like something switches when they go to Utah or they go to a bigger event, and all of a sudden they see the big picture, and that's when you watch people rise to the top. And rising to the top only means this. That's when people take off and they're not embarrassed anymore, and they're like, this is legit. I'm going to go and I'm going to share this with everybody because they need to know about this company and these products.
That's right.
To add to that biggest event, I can assure you years ago, and I'm talking in my case now, 18 plus years in doing this industry, I still remember the hotel I went to for the very first event, and I sat on the back and how my confidence changed. Not just in me, but how much I changed in the company, and how that, you know what, these people were no different than me. They just wanted better. And you know what, I realized I knew I wanted better, and the timing was right for me. So that big event put me over the hump. Now, you know what, I'm going to ask Ginger a question, because you know what, she's been asking us questions. Ginger's never been involved in this industry before.
No.
And all at once, not only she endorsed these products, and that was really difficult for her yeah, trust me, she studied it a long time, I know. Well, how did it feel for you after you went to your first big event?
Well, I knew I was in the right place because of the products, but after going to the event and really learning about the industry, which I wouldn't do anything else, I love this industry because you're truly helping people. And in our case, because we're a health company, we're helping in the health aspect. But from the finance side, from our comp plan side, we're truly helping people get out of their situation and create a life that they've dreamed of. So I love the industry. I'm all about it.
And originally that really wasn't the case, was it?
No, well, it wasn't that I was against it. It's that I didn't know. And I think that's the
what I
biggest
wanted
thing.
to point
People
out.
just you don't know what you don't know till you know it, right?
Yep. And you know, I think it may be a great way to end this is to let everybody know that I borrowed money from my dad to get started in the industry as a high school football coach. I know that you were a rodeo guy.
I just lost everything through a bad investment, literally broke. No money, and somebody introduced me to this industry, and I didn't have money not to start, right? Like it's not like I don't have any money. It's like, how can I not start? This is an opportunity.
Well, in my case, I had lost millions of dollars after the NAFTA agreement took away my business. I had employed 485 people at one time, and after the NAFTA agreement shut me down, I was praying for something to change. And I didn't think this was the industry I'd ever be in, to be perfectly honest, but I'm so thankful that my nephew, as you mentioned earlier, Todd, got me to look, and I wouldn't do anything else. I mean, it gives me the time freedom to do the things I want to do. So,
yep. And I think that's maybe the most important part of the business side of this is I always tell people there's a lot of ways to make money, but most of them require enormous amounts of time investment without really the ability to mentally shut down and take off for a long time. In this business, don't get me wrong, there's still great energy and great effort, especially if you want to create a large business. However, it is a business that will come to life at some point and give you some freedom in life, Aaron.
So as we wrap up, Chris, what's kind of some closing remarks that we can leave them with?
you know, Aaron, I think that a lot of things is timing too. I mean, you've got to be at the right place at the right time. I'm very confident that our company's at the right place at the right time, very young. Most people never heard of us. And I think that holds true with any business. But you know, it's really about you. It's about you and what you want from this. You making a decision of what your why is. And I think everything else we've talked to you about, before, as you write down, Ginger's giving you things to write down what you want to accomplish here. What are you after? If it just is your products, that's okay with us. But if it's to change your life and to really do something special, and I didn't join this industry to make my pay for products. I joined this industry because I needed another income stream. I needed to be able to pay my kids' way to college. So I went back into it for big money. So that's really what it comes down to, Ginger.
So it's simple and fun. When you get your new teammates started, you do exactly what you just did. Follow the steps in this video and the process, and welcome to the team.